Hey everyone, welcome back to the B-Movie Bunker. Today we're looking at Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, brought to us by Tommy Wirkola, who brought us Dead Snow, which makes me kind of disappointed because I love Dead Snow. This one, not so much. His first foray into the big American cinema. You have Hansel and Gretel, the Hansel and Gretel. Left alone in the woods, kill a witch. Now they've grown up, they like to wear black leather, and they like to hunt witches. You've got Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton as Hansel and Gretel with their very decidedly American accents. And oh yeah, all that candy Hansel ate when he was younger made him diabetic. So we're getting a message here about, hey kids, sugar will give you diabetes. Diabetes. Which actually now science is saying that sugar isn't what gives you diabetes. So eating some candy for a couple of days or a couple of weeks isn't going to automatically give you diabetes. There's also the underlying story of Jeremy Renner is pretty much bigoted towards witches, which I know you're thinking, well, witches are bad. Famke Janssen, however you pronounce her name, is the bad witch in this one, the main bad witch, and I think she does a decent enough job because she just plays evil well. But then you get this whole thing of but there are good witches too. There's good witches and bad witches, and which are you? And don't hate all witches. Don't stereotype us witches. Don't, magically profile us. They try to do it's like they're trying to do a public service announcement for witches and for diabetes all in this movie, while they said, what? I heard about this thing called steampunk. Really? What's that? Well, it's kind of like, a little bit more modern-y type technology, but it's more clunky and big, but it's like an older time, like a Victorian period. Really? Well, that sounds cool. I heard kids like vampires. Well, vampires are done. Let's do witches. Yeah, we'll do witches, but we'll make them just like vampires, because that's kind of how the witches are in this. They're, super fast and strong. They're basically vampires who can occasionally shoot, a little firebolt out of their hand. That's what they really are. This movie in general, I think the effects for a bigger budget movie, I think were not that good. The lighting was terrible at times, and the sound is even bad. At times you can't even hear what the characters are saying, which may be a good thing because the whole script is pretty bad. The story is basically just a ripoff of the Brothers Grimm film from a few years ago. Hey, we kidnapped 12 kids because there's this blood moon, we gotta sacrifice them. Really, because there was the 12 virgins kidnapped for the blood moon, sacrificed for the witch, and Brothers Grimm. Really? Really? We're just copying other movies that weren't even that good to begin with, and just renaming it and just changing the concept a little bit and changing the actors and making them wear a little bit more black leather. I'll admit that there's one cool scene with a troll, although the troll is kind of funky looking, so I'm not quite sure how he works, but... And then there's the annoying sidekick that they get along. I hate the sidekicks. Hollywood, stop with the freaking sidekicks. We don't want sidekicks. No one likes the sidekicks unless it's Short Round. That's about the only exception. Short Round. There aren't that many more. For the most part, any kind of little, hey, I want to follow you and help. Yeah, no. Leave that to the Japanese and the anime, because I already hate it there. I don't need to hate it here, too. So, scale of 1 to 10, this one is, remember Van Helsing? This is like Van Helsing 2. If Van Helsing 2 were written by a lobotomized chimp with a plank shoved in his eyeball. I don't understand why we have to make such bad movies. If you're going to go with, these stories, these old folk tales, there are so many out there that you can go with, and the material's already good. Why do you... I don't understand. We're going to have big old machine guns and stuff to hunt witches. God, it doesn't do it for me. It never has. It never will. This just doesn't work. These constantly throwing in this, all this super high tech for the time gear to hunt these witches. We're going to have machine gun crossbows and, we're going to have... no, stop. Just stop. If you're going to do these movies, do it justice. Do it right. Do a good folktale movie. But you won't. You're going to keep making crap like this, and if I want to see anything good, I'm going to have to go to Norway and watch something like Troll Hunter. Which, yes, it's modern day, but it does trolls the way trolls are. Hollywood, just stop making these movies. I'm going to pretty much let Marvel make movies and, maybe Wes Anderson, and that's about it. Everyone else, go sit down for a while. This one just made me so mad with how bad it overall was. Now, it wasn't the Asylum knockoff bad, but it was still pretty bad. And actually, if you go by budget, then it would be worse than that, because for the amount of money they spent, they should have hired a fucking screenwriter who, knows which end of a pen doesn't get shoved up his ass. That's all I have for this one. Till next time, you all stay safe out there in the wasteland, folks.